police chase. Sonic ran down the street, Twilight running after as he called, "Yeah, so consider us gone!" Tails also took off running, Applejack running after him while pulling a still struggling Rainbow Dash behind her. Scootaloo hesitated for a moment, then turned and shot after Sonic, Twilight, and Spike, deciding to put her skirt to good use on the sloped road. The police officer from before had told his fellow law officers, "Lead the Fox and the rest of them to the military's robots. Our top priority is the Hedgehog." And with that, he drove off after Sonic's group, the other officers right behind him. Scootaloo looked back to see the police cars literally following him down the street. She also noticed that Twilight was obviously having the most trouble moving fast, even with the whole downhill aid. She faced forward and called, "Twilight, can you use your magic or something to speed up? At this rate, they're going to catch us!" Twilight called back, "The only thing I can really do is teleport, Scootaloo, and there's no telling where that could put us here." Spike glanced back and said, "Those things, they look kind of like the carts that Big Macintosh pulls around town. How are they able to go so fast?" Sonic called, "Well, there's a pretty big difference between a horse and a cart, Spike. But in any case, I agree with Scootaloo. We need to pick up the pace." He slowed down slightly, getting behind Twilight. He looked at the driver of the unicorn and Baby Dragon and said, "Step towards me, Spike. Twilight, after I transfer to Scootaloo's score, you step forward." Twilight, Spike, and Scootaloo all asked, "What?" Sonic replied, "Just trust me, it'll be fine." Confused, but not having a lot of the other options at the moment, Spike did as Sonic said, leaning out Twilight's back towards him. The blue hedgehog caught him and quickly moved behind Scootaloo's scooter, setting him down behind the orange Pegasus. Sonic quickly placed his claws on her shoulder for support. Once his grip was secured, Twilight jumped forward. Sonic immediately got behind her and caught her in his arms, holding her Brian style. And he called to Scootaloo, "Find those wings, Scootaloo! We're getting out of here!" He then pulled forward, running faster as Twilight wrapped her forelegs around his neck. Scootaloo grinned, "All right!" She started flapping her wings faster, going from a moderately fast speed to full speed. She wasn't fast enough to catch up with Sonic, but she was going fast enough she could be in his tailwind. The gap between them and the police cars began to get wider when it did shorter. After passing over a small flat strip of road, the street dropped on the slope again, and the group went further down. Twilight pointing with her right hoof, calling, "Sonic! Scootaloo! Look! There's a 90-degree turn coming up!" Scootaloo moved down from behind Sonic and saw a sharp right turn coming out the bottom of the slope. Sonic said, "I see it, Twilight, and I see the easiest way to make it, too." Sonic called to Scootaloo, "Scootaloo, are you and Spike going to be able to make it?" The orange Pegasus replied, "Uh-huh, don't worry, I got it covered." She then called back to Spike, "Spike, when I start to lead, you lead with me. Got it?" The baby dragon nodded in response. As they got closer to the turn, Scootaloo moved further away from Sonic. Once they were closer enough, Sonic shifted all Twilight's weight to his left arm and said, "Hold on, Twilight!" He then held out his right hand and grabbed a post on the street corner. At the same time, Scootaloo stopped flapping her wings and started leaning to the right, Spike leading with her. Sonic went around the post, releasing it, causing both arms to hold Twilight once he was facing the right direction, while Scootaloo made a sharp turn and cleared his corner without sacrificing too much speed. Both Sonic and Scootaloo grinned at each other, while Twilight and Spike shot friendly looks at each other. The moment was short when they all heard the sound of the tires skidding across the ground. Spike looked back up and see the police cars were hard on their trail. "Geez, they're still coming?" "Gotta give a credit for being persistent, if nothing else," Sonic grunted. He then called Scootaloo, "Try to keep this up as long as you can, Scootaloo. You won't be able to keep up some of us forever." Scootaloo did not and focused on the road. She wasn't about to disappoint anybody. Later, with Tails' group, Tails, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash were hiding behind a dumpster in the alley, trying to stay hidden so a squad of gun hunters would pass them. As they waited, more blue eagles flew overhead, everyone looking up and briefly seeing 3 jets fly by. "Boy, they ain't giving us a break, are they?" Applejack whispered. Tails replied, "Nope, we're here. I'm gonna go check and see if the coast is clear." While it remained crouched down, he stuck out from behind the dumpster and moved over to the entrance to the alley. He soon called back, "I think I lost him. Let's go!" Applejack and Rainbow came out from their hiding place and followed Tails back to the street. Sure enough, there was no sign of the robots that were pursuing them. Once they were certain nobody was waiting to jump out at them, Applejack turned to Tails and asked, "Where do we go from here, darling?" Tails pointed to a wall at the end of the street and said, "Let's go see what's on the other side of that wall. That might be where we're supposed to go." As they started walking towards the wall, Rainbow spoke up, "You know, AJ, You hadn't stopped me earlier, we might not be in this situation. Nearpony reported, You're right, Rainbow. We'd probably be in a worse situation. You heard what Soccer Tail said. Things are looking as bad as this. We don't need you to make it worse. Tails nodded. At least they're just doing your job, Rainbow Dash. And we would have been hard-pressed to fight out that many robots at once. The scientist growled, Yeah, I can't believe that Shadow guy. What's his problem, huh? Tails spoke, I don't believe Shadow. I was trying to say earlier, it's not entirely his fault. It's just a coincidence that he happens to look like Sonic. Sure, I think it would be hard to tell the difference between blue and black, but it doesn't help the Shadow wasn't entirely himself when he was awakened. Not only that, but shadows, imagery, colors, that type of thing. A lot of things can be distorted. To quote Scrooge, the eyes are fickle. Things can easily mess them. As he stopped by in front of the wall, Applejack asked, What do you mean my land? Tails took the airplane's hose and spun his tails around, helping her over the wall while Rainbow Dash flew up below them. As he said it, Tails started, Well, you see, Professor Gel Robotnik. He stopped in mid-sentence. When he reached the top of the wall, the street behind him swarming with robots. Rainbow hovered next to Tails and Applejack asked, So we try to sneak around them? Tails instantly said, We could, but that would take time. There's a good chance that robot might see us and tell these guys where we are. Applejack asked, So what do we do? Just get out of there and force our way through them? Tails sighed. Seems like the best thing to do right now. You both ready? Both Applejack and Rainbow Dash nodded. Tails and Rainbow flew over the wall. Tails released the Applejack's hose after a moment. The airplane landed on all floors and took off running towards the robots. Dustin noticed them, while Tails and Rainbow flew at him. The gun hunters and gun beetles started shooting at him, but the trio was too fast for him. And the robots didn't last long against Applejack's workhorse legs. Rainbow's high-speed tackles and Tails' spin jump. By working together, they were able to take care of their attackers in a quick and timely manner. After the last robot fell, Applejack started looking around for her friends. Rainbow wasn't hard to find. Pegasus' mane was quite easily to see on the lit street. She didn't immediately see Tails, however, and called, Tails! Where are you, Sugar Cube? Seeing Rainbow soon heard a hustling sound from nearby and went to look. They found Tails sticking around what was left of one of the gun hunters, searching his remains for something. Rainbow landed on the ground and seeing Applejack walk over, wondering what the fox was digging through the scraps for. As he reached the robot, Tails pulled out a small green object, holding it in his left hand where Rainbow and Applejack could easily see it. What's that, Tails? Rainbow asked. Tails looked at the bears and replied, Yes, it's a chaos drive. It's a power source containing crystallized chaos energy. It was designed by Professor Gel Robotnik. I'm sure I can find a use for it later. He then tucked a small capsule into its two tails, next to the Violet Chaos Emerald. As Tails moved to investigate one of the gun beetles, Applejack spoke. He all mentioned the name before this scuffle started. Sonic also mentioned the name Robotnik. Said it was the last name of Dr. Eggman's grandfather. Referring to the same person? Tails, as he started examining the beetle's remains, replied, That's right. Professor Gerald Robotnik is Eggman's grandfather. Professor Gerald is also the leader of Project Shadow. He's the one who created Shadow. Rainbow said, You've been saying I've been getting the wrong idea about Shadow and the Ark and this and that. Now I got a chance to talk. You mind telling me what I'm apparently not getting? Tails pulled out a yellow chaos drive for the gun beetle and stood up. He then first faced Applejack and Rainbow Dash said, Sir, I gotta check the rest of these robots anyway. The two mayors followed him as he went to check another gun hunter. As he walked, he started, 50 years ago, Professor Gerald Robotnik was asked by the president of the United Federation to lead a medical research program that became known as Project Shadow. He eventually accepted the assignment as he could use the research to find a way to save the life of his granddaughter, Maria Robotnik. Applejack asked, Wow, what was wrong with her? Tails, as he slowly shifted through the remains of the gun hunter, explained, Maria had developed neuroimmunodeficiency syndrome, or NIDS for short. It's an incurable disease. Professor Gerald hoped to co-opt the immortality research to discover a cure. Of course, there were plenty of barriers to get past. Professor Gerald's research on lizards managed to produce a somewhat successful result. He managed to get many of the traits he wanted, but the creature itself needed a light support system in order to survive. In order to speed the research along, Gerald made a desperate move. He made contact with aliens. Rainbow asked, Aliens? Like the ones that supposedly travel around in those spinning things, whatever they're called? Tails replied, yes and no. The aliens he made contact with were known as the Black Arms. The Black Comet, which was their home or transport or something, would pass by Earth once every 50 years. It was around this time he made Steels will pass Earth. Professor Gerald managed to contact the alien leader, Black Doom, who provided the necessary genetic material for his project. His DNA allowed Gerald to create Shadow, but it was still a matter of repaying Black Doom for his help. As Tails pulled out a red Chaos Drive, Rainbow Dash asked, let me guess, it wasn't exactly a fair trade-off, right? Tails started to face the 2 ponies and said, nope. In exchange for his help, Black Doom asked Professor Gerald to use Shadow to deliver the Chaos Emeralds the next time the Black Comet passed by Earth. Gerald realized this presented a clear threat to Earth, and secretly plotted to stop him. He made some slight modifications to Shadow so he would be a savior, rather than a destroyer, and developed the Eclipse Cannon in order to destroy Black Comet. Elzak asked, so why did he steal Chaos Emerald and let Dr. Eggman destroy half the moon? Did what Gerald did not work out as he expected? Tails looked down on the ground and replied, sort of. See, the military got wind of Gerald's experiments and, suspecting they were a danger to humanity, went up to the Ark to shut them down. Despite Shadow's efforts, Maria was killed, and Shadow himself was captured by the military and put in suspended animation. When Gerald learned what happened to Maria, he kind of went mad with grief. Before he was executed, he set up a final act of revenge aboard the Ark, and altered Shadow's memory so he could carry out Shadow's revenge without question. He believed that Maria wanted revenge, but it was really Shadow's old revenge he was carrying out. Rainbow muttered, well, I think I understand now. She did ask, what happened after Eggman released Shadow? Tails replied, well, as you can tell, Shadow began doing exactly what Gerald wanted to do. He convinced Eggman that he could dominate the world if he collected all the Chaos Emeralds and used them to power the Eclipse Cannon. Once all the emeralds were collected, Shadow's program was put into action. The energy for the Chaos Emeralds turned the Ark into a huge bomb and set on a crash course for Earth. However, Shadow managed to get his real memories back, and he helped prevent the Ark from crashing. We thought he died in the process, but one of Eggman's robots found him afterwards. He was later found in one of Eggman's bases, although he suffered amnesia as a result of the fall. When Black Arms returned, he went on a quest for answers and eventually did what Gerald originally wanted him to do. Stop the Black Arms. Why is it that some of these people who lose their memories and have to go on a long quest to try to find out who they are, with questions who they are referred to as emo by some people? Seriously now. I mean, it's like this. I have no memory of who I am, where I come from. Well, man, you're emo. Or like this. I'm showing emotions. Emo. I feel sad about what's going on. I'm feeling depressed. Emo. Like, get a life. People have emotions. Deal with it. Applejack spoke. Well, that's some sort of story, Cube. I'll say, though, I don't think that's enough talk for now. We should probably get going. Tails nodded. You're right, Applejack. I already decided to rest of the robots anyway, so we can go. I'm sure we got a lot of ground to make up by now. Rainbow and Applejack noted, and all three had made their way up the street, heading for a tunnel at the end. Soon, up further ahead. That's just... I'm speechless, Sonic. Twilight admitted. See, Sonic and Spike and Scooby were sitting on top of one of the towers, on top of the suspension bridges that went over the city. Sonic, having just gotten them up there with the aid of his boost ability, which they were all amazed at. Where the Blue Hedgehog had just finished telling them roughly the same story Tails had told Applejack and Rainbow Dash. Sonic nodded, yeah. He looked into the moon, remembering the brief time he had been up there, and said, you know, I'm glad Shao found out the truth of who he was, and managed to stay true to who he is, and that Zero Robotic turned out to be a good man in the end. Spike said, man, it's almost hard to believe he's related to someone like this Eggman guy. Sonic replied, I know, right? I even heard Eggman telling Tails, after we stopped the Ark for crashing into Earth, that he wanted to be a great scientist because his grandfather was his hero. You gotta wonder where he got the whole world domination idea in the first place. Everyone nodded in silent agreement. Under a moment of silence, Sly spoke, maybe we should get going. It's nice to have some quiet after escaping from the police, but we've certainly been up here for a while. Sonic shrugged. Yeah, I guess you're right, Twilight. He stood up and said, Teals, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash are doing. School went down the street he had come down and noticed 3 figures below. She immediately recognized the rainbow hair of one of them and pointed, "Look, down there!" She then yelled out, "Rainbow Dash, Teals, Applejack, up here!" The trio looked around confused until Teals looked up and saw Sonic, Rainbow, Twilight, Spike, and School sitting on top of the Princess Tower. He called up, "Hey guys, what's going on?" Sonic called back, "We were just about to start looking for you guys. Stay there, we'll be right down." And his hand off School's shoulder, letting it drop down to his wheels and roll over to the young Pegasus. Twilight walked over to her and picked her up, while Spike got down to his back. Sonic walked down to the nearby suspension cable and leapt down onto it, grinding down. Schooloo followed down, riding and bouncing with her scooter. When they were close enough, they leapt off the cable, coming to a stop in front of their friends. Sonic set Twilight down and Spike leapt off his back. Rainbow said, "That was pretty cool. You guys okay?" Sonic stood up and replied, "Looks like you guys are too." Applejack said, "We are, Sugar Hog." I said, "Have you guys found anybody? We only lost the police a little while ago, so we haven't had a chance to search." Teal said, "No, we just seen a lot of military robots. I managed to salvage chaos strikes for some of them, so it has to be a total bust. But I feel better if we had some idea where our friends are." Spike asked, "We'll have to split up again?" Sonic said, "No, I don't think we'll need to, Spike." He went right down the street and continued, "Might as well see where this takes us before we split up or anything like that." Tails nodded. "Right, we should be able to move much faster as long as we sit together working as a team." Rainbow said, "Now let's go, you guys. The sooner we find our friends, the sooner we'll stop getting shot at." Everyone nodded in agreement, and after Spike climbed up on Twilight's back, they set out down the road after crossing the suspension bridge. After several more encounters with military robots and crossing over a bridge that shook like it was going to fall any second, the group entered a tunnel and led them to a street that ran in front of a collection of buildings. The group fought their way past the robots and attempted to ambush them as they went down the street, which led down to a dead end. Fortunately, however, they found 3 figures waiting for them there. "Roots!" Teal said. "Rarity!" Spike exclaimed. "Sleep out!" Schooloo shouted. Everyone quickly rushed over to them, stopping in front of them. Twilight's sword lit up, and she examined each of them before saying, "Well, it looks like they're all okay. They'll definitely return to normal once we get back to Pineville." She said this to assuage Spike's fear more than anything, since she could tell that the baby dragon was really worried about his crush. It seemed to do the trick, and Spike got out of sight of relief at her words. Tails reached to his... No, not saying it! Into his tails! For the warp ring, but paused after pulling it out, due to Schooloo saying, "Look, here comes one of those playthings!" Everyone went to where she pointed to sight of Blue Eagle, jets flying in the direction. As soon as it flew over the buildings, it suddenly dropped a bomb, which started flying towards the group. The police began to panic at this, but Sonic remained calm. "Tails, time to leave! Get that warp ring going!" he said. Tails immediately nodded, tossed the warp ring in front of him. It grew to his full-size second layer. A shimmering surface appeared in his hole. Sonic grabbed Rouge and Twilight, both Rarity's sleeping bell, that went with magic. Then everyone dove into the portal. Sonic and Rainbow Dash leaping from one side while everyone went to the side. The ring then vanished with a flash, and the bomb from the Blue Eagle exploded harmlessly on the street. Fluttershy, Cream, and Cheese were sitting in Rarity's kitchen talking about chow when they drank their tea when they heard a "Vloop" coming from the boutique storeroom, followed by multiple thumps. Worried, but Fluttershy and Cream stood up and ran into the showroom, Cheese flying after them, where they found all their friends sprawled across the floor, the warp ring lying on the ground next to Tails. Twilight managed to set Rarity and Sleep Belt down on their host, while Cycle lay his back, holding up Bruce's body with his hands. "Okay, you okay?" asked Cream worriedly. Sonic soon sat up with a grunt, and set Rouge down on her feet before going, "I think we're okay, Cream. We just were expecting to hit the ground so abruptly." Everyone else sat up soon afterwards, Tails grabbing the warp ring and tugging it away. As everyone stood up, Fluttershy said, "Oh, you managed to find Rarity and Sleep Belt." Cream had, "I'm serious too. Why are you so still white?" Tails said, "Don't worry, Cream. They should be back to normal in a minute. I'll look Rarity's home." As he finished the sentence, everyone noticed a now familiar sparkling white wave moving over the floor and up the walls, restoring everything to its proper color as it went. In under a minute, the Carousel Boutique had completely regained its color. Sonic looked over at Rouge and saw the same wave creeping up her body. Once he was fully restored, she lifted herself over and leapt into the air, briefly flapping her wings before landing back on the ground. She then blew a kiss at Sonic and said, "Thanks, Big Blue. This is the first time I've ever been stolen." Sonic couldn't grin softly at the statement. Their attention was redirected when they heard Scootaloo scream, "Sleepbell, you're okay!" Everyone would like to see the orange filly hugging the young unicorn, and gave him Millie a rare display of emotion. Sleepbell started, "Scootaloo, what's going on?" Scootaloo leaned back and said, "This doesn't matter now. You're okay!" Twilight, Rainbow, and Applejack and Fluttershy all noticed that Rarity was back to normal as well. Unfortunately, she still feels the need to be the one to spoil the moment. Okay, what are you talking about? That was utterly terrifying. My beautiful body was completely white. I was floating around like a ghost. One of the worst things that could happen was that it was the worst possible thing. There, I did the line. Pay me $50. The drama queen's horn lit up and her throne slid over to catch her as she fell onto her back sobbing. After a moment, she looked up to see everyone staring at her. "What? It was you then," she defended. Everyone had a reaction to Sonic comment. For Sonic, informed a three-step procedure. Other people might follow this situation. Raise hand, expose palm, apply to face. Oh, I can tell Rarity's gonna get lots of respect in this fic.